Comics are awesome.
From the Comics newsroom, it's time to get you wired in and get your daily dose of the comics news, hosted by Mr. Anderson, who is the unboxable, uncanny, advocating creator who will tempt you with his devilish tales of fetish monsters and more. Join him and his co-hosts as they give you the news coming off the Comics News Wire. Brought to you in association with... Subscribe to IndieVolt.com to recharge your fandom and to get an education. Be sure to check out all of the IndieVolt programming on the Nines with hosts like Randy Zimmerman, The Kid, Varian Grant, The Indie Princess, with more hosts and shows to come. Be a pair, be professional, be ethical, be authentic, be respectful. Remember, in this industry for comics, be a pair. Art provided by Chris Mad. Look up Chris Mad Art on Facebook today. ComicBookAdvocates.com is the global digital Comic-Con, but it's more than that. And you can be more too. Be more than just a fan. Become an advocate for comics like ComicBookAdvocates.com is for their creators, for their crowdfunding, for the very books they're creating, because we love comics.
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment, tech, and more.
Warning and disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this live feed are those of the guests, speakers, and or hosts, and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs, official policies, ethics, or positions of the content providers, advertisers, additional hosts, and or guests, hosting sites, groups, or entities attached to this programming. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello. Welcome to the news. We're going to get into all the things turning the pages in comics and making fans excited. But we're starting off the show with our elevator. It's open. Come on in, take a ride. Tell everyone what you're working on. The link is now in our newsroom chat room here on YouTube, and I'm going to put it on Facebook as well. Remember to share and like all these amazing videos that were brought to you by IndieVolt. Make sure you subscribe to IndieVolt.com's YouTube channel so you guys can be featured not only on the show, but you can see all the other people who are featured on the show. So the doors are open. It's time for you to come in and hang out. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to get into it right now. Links are around. I even have them in the chat room, so you guys are welcome. And we're doing a mic check because I'm here by myself, so you hear me talking in the background. My page is acting funny because it's got me in two different places, but come on in. We are live. We are live. All right, so let's get to it. Let's get rid of this elevator pitch stuff and talk to you guys about the news. First off, again, we are, if you guys ever wanted to be on a show and see if you could be a co-host and try it out, we are offering spots for co-hosting, and we are offering people to be on the show. If you guys want publicity or have something to talk about, please send us an email at comicsnewswire@yahoo.com. That's comics, C-O-M-I-X, not C-O-M-I-C-S, comics newswire@yahoo.com. And you can go straight to our site, comicbookadvocates.com. Takes you straight to our newsroom. In there, you can send us an email directly within the thread itself. How awesome is that? All right, guys, we're going to remind you to subscribe to Comic Book Advocates today and become part of the advocating network and be more than just a fan. Become an advocate for comics today. And I am your host, Mr. Anderson. I am the advocate by day and uncanny comics devil by night. And I'm here to tell you about the indie news. That's right. We're going to start off our program today with the indie news and tell you everything that's going on with indie news. And indie news, of course, is brought to us by the Comic Book Advocates Network on Facebook. Find out everything turning pages in comic books by seeing it first, and the Comic Books Network on Facebook today. And just definitely exciting stuff going on. We're going to get into it right now. Let's jump into it. John Celestri shares some of his stuff. You kids will never play outside again as the thunderstorms bring the rain. Pooh on board. And this is available now on Indiegogo. Get your copy today by clicking the link right down here. Look at that art, man. It's a throwback. And speaking of throwbacks, to awesome. Look at this 3D cover. It doesn't even do as much justice as it can. Use your mouse to move it around. It's all part of Sword of Justice, which is now on Kickstarter. It's the second one. It's live right now. Help them fund the book. It's about a full book of Barbarians, Blood, and Guts. Click the link. There it is. It's a hashtag comic book, a horror comic book, hashtag adventure, hashtag sci-fi, hashtag barbarians, and hashtag pinups. I don't know if reading hashtags works the same way. And Liberty, excuse me, Liberty Entertainment Distribution had a live stream. So check it out. It's in our room right now. This is talking about the future of distribution. And you can find them at www.legd.us. And this is, of course, with Varian Grant.
So there is the first question, but let me check these comments out. Dorothy says you look different. Yeah, I did. I cut my hair. It's growing back now. So what is it that LEG does, and what can you do for me? Well, what LEDG or Liberty Entertainment Distribution is a company that will help you get your books into retail stores, and we're talking about retail stores, comic book stores, mainly brick and mortar comic stores. So, and there's a couple other stores that we're working on as well. But that is what we do. That is what we're good at. So if you're looking to have your book on store shelves to pick up those customers you might be missing, through crowdfunding or through conventions, we can do that for you. One of the things that I've realized, and again, I took 4 years to build this up, and I talked with countless retailers. A lot of people might be watching this, creators and publishers who had ideas about how, they like to see things ran with a distribution company. And one of the things that we wanted to do is, one of the things that I discovered is to make it easy to use for everyone. So when you sign into Liberty and you get an account with Liberty, what you'll notice is that everything is super easy to use. I mean, there's nothing complicated about it. And that helps because the retailers that I talk to, a lot of them don't mind carrying indie comics. Sure, there were a few that didn't want to carry indie comics, and that's understandable. But the ones that did, they said, I would carry them, but I don't want to deal with all these different people calling me for invoices or consignment. I don't want to deal with it. It's not practical. And so, okay, well, let's get a bunch of quality books together in one area, in one company, and see if that makes it a little bit easier. That way they're only dealing with one person or one entity to get these books into their stores, because they want these guys. They want to sell the books, and they're seeing a lot of money in crowdfunding right now that we kind of want a part of. Let's be honest. So that's what we can do for you, and that's what Liberty is. So hopefully that answers that particular question. And the next one is here. There we go. The LEDG site and Facebook say you've been around since 2016. Again, that is correct. The domain.
And that's right. They've been around since 2016, getting it ready, spending the proper amount of time negotiating, making the contacts they need, building the relationships they need. Varian goes on to say that he's invited people with comic book shops over to his house to have dinners and hang out with them. Not because he was trying to sell them something, but because he wanted to have a relationship with people and really understand what people wanted. He's a game of this industry. He is the guy who is studying it, and he understands the game. He is, in a lot of ways, the indie comics version of the WWE star Triple H, the game. He's VG, the game, and he's gonna get it for you. The kid knows his stuff. All right, we're gonna move on to some exciting stuff, and I'm actually part of this. I get to play with these characters. So Mike Seeley created these amazing characters, the Catalyst, and I actually get to write them. And let me tell you, there's an experience when you're writing something you did not create that I can't even express to you how awesome it is. You actually get to spend time dealing with characters that you, as a writer, you kind of have it in your mind. Well, this person's going to do this. This is going to do this. There's an exciting level to having someone else make those decisions. And some of it's actually a little easier, believe it or not, because you get to just be like, well, what about this? And they're like, no, that doesn't work. And you're like, okay, and you just move on with it. Well, when you're doing it yourself, you torture yourself. Oh, well, maybe I should do this. Maybe it should be this way. Oh, wait. No, I shouldn't do it that way. It's kind of nice to have someone else making those calls, because as a creator, you can get yourself bogged down. It's been a great relationship with hanging out with Mike in this, and he's got such great ideas. I can't wait to show you more, so stay tuned. Argo 5, number 38. That's right, 38. They're moving on, marching towards 40 issues with a ton of indie guest stars as they're heading to 40. Dan Sin on Indie Planet now. Get your 38th copy. Wow, congratulations, Dan. Stormy has it all. The hooks, the looks, a hot album, and the adoration of a nation. But not all is as it seems. As the saying goes, the brighter the shine, the darker the service. You can get issue 1 for $5, and it's a limited edition. Each is numbered, bagged, board, and signed. It's StormyComics.com. We got Chronicles of Horror. Meredith would love this. This is brought to us by Matthew Muse. This is going to be coming out on September 15th. 2 Kickstarter. It's from Sierra Nova Comics. I believe it was Kickstarter. It might be Nico. It's going to be crowdfunding. And then Shepherd has some news. As you all know, Shepherd is now part of the Black Caravan imprint over at Scout Comics. Issue 1 of Volume 1 will be released in January 2021. Here is the variant by his friend Stefano Cardielso. And Sarah's checking in with us. How you doing, Sarah? What's going on? We got to have you on the show one day and tell us what you're up to creating. And then, of course, more news from Scout as Richard Rivera reveals that Scout Comics is coming to Scout Comics and in a new imprint for all ages 4 to 12. That begins also in January of 2021, and it's going to be preceded by numerous Ashcan releases. The Map Maper and Soul Streamer are also here. Wild Bill and Clipper artwork by Dwayne Dixby. Characters created by Richard Rivera and Dwayne Dixby. And that looks so cool. I can't wait. And then shifting gears to the more adult, CB Zane gives us, are you one of the cool vampire peeps? Vampires in New Jersey is undead. That means live right now. Be sure to check it out. Amazing interior covers, art available from Alton Simpson. And this is a cover right here. And check it out. Super awesome art. CB Zane always nailing it. Always doing such great things. And Martha Schwartz is on the show today. Hey, everyone. If you're curious on a new and exciting campaign, head over to my Indiegogo. I have a great series that has a great series that's exclusive to the platform. Check it out. Or Tell the Crowd. And this is a new series from Martha Schwartz, so definitely go check that out. And Bam Zip, Green Eye of the Keeper, art and poetry. Latest blog is up from the creator of Grain. He's got the Mark Verma. He's got, let's see. He has new content selling Grain's first imprint, and he shares his latest interview with Indie Volts along with the art of Grain issue 2. So here's a sneak peek at what's coming out for issue number 2. And that's it for now. And Sarah has a couple comments for us. Horror is right up my alley. Things are going well. And ooh, vampires are great, aren't they? So we're going to take a quick bump right now, switch off, come back in. Remember, the chat room is open. If you have something to promote, now is your time. Or for the rest of today, don't complain that you didn't have a way to actually promote. We're going to take a look at hybrids in a quick 30-second commercial.
New from Terraform COMiX, Hybrids, The Sons of Gods, Volume 1, Trash Day. When everyday people develop godlike abilities, it is up to a small band of heroes to expose an evil superhuman trafficking ring. This 128-page volume merges history with fiction in an exciting, fast-paced adventure. Get your copy now.
All right, we're going to head over to our mainstream news. So this mainstream news is brought to you by IndieVault.com. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and get behind all the amazing things coming out of IndieVault and recharge your fandom. Speaking of fandom, DC's fandom is back this weekend. We're going to get into that in just a second, but we're going to start off today's news with something I think is cool. Of course, I think it's cool. It's about comic books. How couldn't it be cool, right? So let's get right into it right now. And here it is. Oops, sorry, we're going to take your comment down. Exclusive Archie CEO Nancy Skillerberkip. Sorry, no, I apologize. It just was not an easy last name. Comments on the power of the comics medium, and that's pretty cool. We're getting her to come out, talk to us about how powerful comics are. We're seeing a lot more of that kind of press coming into the mainstream. I'm really digging it. And a local comic book shop, get this, so a lot of credit to them. A local comic book shop is offering free comics in exchange for food items. That's right. They're trying to make a difference. They got comics, and they know how powerful comics are. So they're going to make a difference with comics, and they're offering you guys free comic books if you bring in food to make sure that people who are in need right now need to be fed. We need to focus more on this stuff because everyone right now is kind of insane, if I'm being honest. And they need to focus on the fact that there are good human beings out here. I said it earlier when we were on the Breakfast Buzz that we need to be a light, a beacon of light to show people that the world continues and that everything is ultimately okay. Can't do that if all we're doing is throwing shade on each other. So I love talking about these things. These are heartwarming. So not only is this an awesome idea, but you guys should go check out Comics and More and see if you can support them because they are supporting their local community and they really do deserve our support as well by default. Then wouldn't you agree? I know I think that they're awesome for what they're doing and I can't wait to hear more from them. And hopefully they tell us how successful it is in the near future. So moving on, Marvel reveals that Wolverine's getting a new arch enemy. And, you know, sometimes there are characters that just need a good group of enemies. And Wolverine's been someone who's had some great enemies in the past, some great arch enemies, as a matter of fact. So when it comes to Wolverine, whenever there's a new villain he's going against, I think people just naturally stop and pay attention. Because it's who can go against Wolverine. Like you gotta kind of wonder who could be anyone that would actually pose a threat to Wolverine. And this guy, I don't know, man. He looks menacing. I know that in the image, it doesn't show a big bulking guy, but like there's just a confidence about him that makes you think that he's the smartest guy in the room and he's going to kick everyone's butt. So we're going to be keeping an eye on this, see how this develops. I think this is going to be a character that sticks. And I know in the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of characters come and go, but every so often you can almost taste it in the air that a new character has been made that may very well change comics for the better and the character's life for the worse for a good amount of time. So this is coming out. It's going to be in Wolverine #6. So go to your local comic book shop and talk to them. And Sailor Moon. Sail on, Sailor. 25 years later. Oh, by the way, just giving some love to the people who brought us the articles. We want to give credit to Archie CEO Stories over at Comics Beat. The Western Mass News gave us the local comic book shop, and the Marvel comics thing that comes straight off of Comic Book News. And Sailor Moon, 25 years later, that comes to us from spokesman.com, believe it or not. That was kind of cool. It's cool to also know how many different sites are covering us. So sometimes I'll pick a unique site just to be able to show, hey guys, look at the coverage and how expansive our coverage really goes. So with that in mind, we give you a story, again, from a news program. I'm loving this. Need to escape is driving Metro Atlanta comic book sales, says shop owner. So here's some more good news. I was really happy that I woke up today and found such good news to be able to share with you all. So check it out. Comic book news that you want to hear is when sales are up. And because people are looking for an escape, right now they're going to the pages of comic books. How amazing is that? I absolutely love the fact that this is happening. And this is Galactic Quest is talking about it. And they said the entire industry is driven by escapism. And that is so true. We've said that a lot on these programs. And they go on, and this is the Poot Kamer said that the movie theaters and big screen movies are starting to come out, but people miss them. The comic books were definitely a way for people to enjoy those stories. And, you know, I hope that everyone who turned to comic books falls back in love, and it helps the industry get to a new level where it's not driven just by what's being theatrically released, but it's driven by instead all the other things that are going on. I think that that would be fantastic if we could get to a point where people were excited and talking about all these amazing comic books and how these comic books are creating movies, as opposed to, oh yeah, you know, there's a comic book about this movie. I just want to see comics get their rightful place. Because if you go outside the United States, I'll tell you right now, comic books are a lot more well received than they are in the United States. So I definitely suggest that you guys check that out and be part of a comic book shop and getting things done. Remember we talked about DC FANDOM? Well, if DC FANDOM has a lineup calling all superhero families, don't miss this. So they're going to be doing a global experience on the 12th. That's just 2 days away. It begins. Go to dckidsfandom.com, get the full information. This article is brought to us by geekdad.com. Now we're going to take a quick break and we'll get right back to the mainstream market watch here on the Comics Newswire, or now known as, we got a cool new logo that we want to show off to you, CNW, Comics Newswire. We'll be right back after this bump for Comic Book Advocates. Help us continue to advocate. While we advocate for thousands of creators and hundreds of projects a year at no charge, the tools we use, such as web hosting, URLs, and computers, have an annual cost. Help Comic Book Advocates stay on air. Please consider donating anything you can to help us to continue to advocate and put on advocating program for everyone to enjoy. Become an advocate for us and a sponsor for advocating. Who knows? If we make enough, maybe we can hire a full-time editor. All right, we're going to get right back into the news in 1 second. But right now, we want to talk about a great creator. And this is going to be my pick of the day. We're going to be talking. By the way, congratulations again to Gamal Hennessy for his success on Kickstarter. Amazing creator. Johnny Phantasm, I think, is going to be done today. Oh, he actually might have been done yesterday. Let's see if he's officially funded. Let's check it out. All right, so you still have, oh, he must have extended. So there's 29 more days left. So super awesome. He's made 20 grand. So we're going to be able to cover this for 20 more days. I can't wait to be talking about this more. But today I bring you here into this, and not just check out Luke Stone, which we gave him some love a little earlier in the show, but I want you guys to check out our friend here at Indie Volt, John the Animator. Check out his video.
What is up, everyone? I am Chris Knight, and you are watching The Real Review 3000 here with another episode of The Gospel According to Chris. And we have with us yet again, John's.
There's John the Animator. Make sure you're checking this out. Of course, this is going into our links for the day. So this is our project of the day as well. So we'll put that in when the video's done cooking. You'll be able to see it. And there's John. Great creator. Make sure we're helping him. Let's get him way past 9. Let's get him 50 backers, 100 backers. Share this now. Follow it. Become a backer. And I'm not signed in right now, but if I was, you'd see how excited I am about this project. So back it today. All right, guys, we're going to get back into the news. We also have some sad news. This is probably going to be the headline of the week. The Walking Dead. Yeah, it's dead after season 11. That's right. AMC's flagship zombie series will conclude after season 11. Here's the final story arc. Here's how the final story arc might play out based on the comics. So here's the thing, though. AMC is not getting rid of the franchise. They are going to be doing a lot with the franchise. Trust me. So there's already talk about a Daryl spinoff with Carol. There's talk about them doing like little mini stories, like an anthology. So don't just count anyone out. They could bring back characters for one-shots. I think they just understand that the slow pace of the show no longer works. No one's really that interested in it. So I think what they're trying to do is find a different way to tell stories with the same characters. And they didn't want to do it within the actual program as it was. So what they're doing is they're actually going to make it interesting in a new way. And that's really what we want, to enjoy the characters that we enjoy in a faster paced scenario. And you can bring back fan favorites like Glenn now with the format that they're talking about. So stay tuned for what I assume is going to be a lot more stuff and a lot more fan-driven content. I think that that's what you're going to see going forward. I think you're going to see a lot more people focusing on what the community of fans want. So exciting stuff. And I can't wait to see how you guys react to the last season, because I know that's going to be a big thing. Obviously, I believe the beer bug, as Randy calls it, is affecting the schedules. There's debates whether or not it is or isn't still filming. So everyone's going to have to be patient for that. So we shall see. All right, we're at 11:33. We have just under. Well, we're ending at noon today because we're a little short of our program today because of Indie Volt going in a little bit over in their time slot, which is okay. But we want to talk about some other great Kickstarters out there. And how don't you talk about Keanu Reeves' project?
Well, I used to collect and I love comic books. And they were like, so did you ever want to make a comic book? And I was like, yeah.
And I love that energy. It always makes me so happy to see that. So we're going to switch over to our other screen. You can see the Indie Volt logo. And we're going to play the entire video for Berserker.
Comics are awesome. Berserker's got everything that you want from a comic book. It's got great drawings, colors, great story. It's got action, has a little romance, and it's about something. And I was like, well, I used to collect and I love comic books. And they were like, so did you ever want to make a comic book? And I was like, yeah. You know, this idea of a kind of Viking, someone in a altered state, someone in a higher, heightened state, just out of control. You know, someone out of control and being compelled or driven to this thing and time like this. You know, kind of hiding in violence. You know, this kind of character trapped who, in a way, has to, with this curse that it's compelled to violence, he understands the cost of it. He finds life precious even after all this time. And I feel with Berserker, we have some masters. Masters doing the drawings, masters doing the color, a master working with me in the writing. And the story that we have to tell, I think, is a lot of fun. So check it out. If you do, I hope you enjoy it. Berserker, Boom Studios.
So we're going to head over to Berserker on crowdfunding and see it's almost at $750,000. We have a couple other videos we want to play for you today. We didn't get to play them all yesterday, so I'm going to just play a couple. And I'm also going to remind you that our good friend Mark Darden heads back to Kickstarter on September 15th. Check out who Mark is.
Hi, I'm Mark Darden, and thanks for finding your way to the Guano Guy Kickstarter. Boom! Pow! Epic explosions! Yeah, this is the second Guano Guy Kickstarter. The first one had these 5 comics. Ooh. But now, we're back with a new 40-page comic with 2 beautiful covers. We're up to 170 pages now. Do you like rewards? You bet you like rewards. Who doesn't like rewards? Well, we've got them, right? We've got stickers. Bam! Prints. Pow! Posters? Come get them. Who's the Guano Guy for? It's for everybody who liked The Tick, Darkwing Duck, the old Batman TV show. It's a lot of fun. We've got gags, insults, we make fun of criminals. And if you want to know more about it, check out the little post videos where I'm doing readings from the comics. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you'll help support. I'm Mark Darden.
I can't say enough about the energy of that man. Make sure when you see those QRC codes, guys, press pause on the video and take a picture of it, or use your Reader app. If you have the Google Chrome, right away it can pop up and be part of a tool that you use to get your book today. And speaking of books that you want to get, check out Scott Snyder and check out the video for this. This is pretty awesome.
I'm Scott Snyder. I've been working in comics for about 10 years now. I'm mostly known for my DC work on Batman and creator-owned series like American Vampire and Witches, but this year I'm really excited to be making a more committed return to creator-owned books. That's books that we make ourselves, and I'm so thrilled that the first book in that series is going to be this one, Nocturnal. It's a book that's lived in my mind for a long time, and Tony and I have been working on it for the better part of a year. As a kid, I always had this like deathly fear of the dark. And then when I saw my own kid kind of going through the same thing, the idea just hit me one night. I was like, what about a world just plunged into an eternal night, into darkness, and a darkness that's even scarier because it changes anything that stays in it too long into a shade, a monstrous kind of twisted form. So our main character in the series, her name is Valentina Val Riggs, and she's a ferryman in this world, which means she hauls people from town to town, these lit up outposts, and driving along these deadly shade-infested dark roads. And as a kid, she had terrible cataracts, so she had really bad vision. She almost lived in darkness. And so she had surgery to correct it when she was a girl, but she is now kind of using those skills she learned as a child to navigate this crazy nighttime that everyone's stuck in. And she's really badass. She drives this 18-wheeler, and it's all armed with weaponized lights and all kinds of stuff. So it's a lot of fun. It's a big, high-octane thriller, and she's the perfect character to helm it.
Hi everyone, I'm Tony Daniel. Scott Snyder and I have created a new comic book. It's, I think, my best work ever, and Scott has such an imagination. So together we come up with this crazy new ongoing series. We're just super happy to work with each other and to be able to get this into your hands. So thank you for helping us do that.
We really wanted this campaign to be all about connection. I miss connections with fans on every level. This campaign is really designed to allow us to reconnect with our fans at a time when real life circumstances are just driving us all apart. These additions to the book, they're really special because it's just art and script, so there won't be those balloons. It's not lettered. They're black and white, so you get to see Tony's amazing pencils and inks. You'll see my words in the script, and sometimes the descriptions of what's happening will be different than what you actually see. All of that is what this book is about. It's about seeing how something like this gets made and feeling a part of it. The different tiers are essentially, we'll have a soft cover, unsigned black and white version that's script and art. And then we'll have a hardcover version for not much more than that, that's signed. Every tier is meant to give you access to us. We're doing a lot of videos about how we make the book, about Tony's process for designs. I'm gonna do a class about first issues. So Nocturnal is coming out as a monthly series from Image. It's gonna start in early 2021. These special editions through Kickstarter will ship before that for backers. So this is gonna be the very first book from Best Jacket. My pledge to backers, honestly, is that I'm not taking any profit from this campaign. My whole goal with this is to be able to fund more books. And at the end of the day, we just wanted to say thank you. Whether you back the campaign or not, please hear from me and Tony and Tomeo and everybody on the team that we know it's a hard time in comics. It's a crazy time all around. But the fact that you still support comics in general means the world to us. So best fans in the world, thank you again.
One quick note for clarity, it is now called Nocturnia. So they did have a name change, and they were very open and honest about it. I love that. Have raised $181,000. Let's get into 200,000. Talk about it, share it. Remember, there's enough room in indie comics, even if someone has been successful, for them to come back because they belong here with us. And we're going to move on to an indie creator. Actually, let's go to Russ. Russ Leach has got Only Death Can Save Us. Russ, this one's for you.
Only Death Can Save Us is a Bronze Age inspired cosmic fantasy run, bringing together action and pathos as the ancient elemental known as Death leaps from his ethereal retirement to help a young soul protect her loved ones. A world in existence itself.
Sign up exclusively in Diego for Only Death Can Save Us.
All right, that's pretty awesome, right? Only Death Can Save Us. I'm digging that name. That's pretty cool. Speaking of cool, let's keep the coolness going with Shark of War issues 1 and 2. A parade of piranha. The cartel finally finds the weapon that can stop even a bulletproof flying shark.
Hello, my name is Ben Lacey. I hope you enjoyed that preview of issues 1 and 2 of Shark of War. If you liked issue 1, I think you'll love issue 2 as we hit the heart of the story. And if you haven't read issue 1 yet, well, there's a link below where you can check it out for free. Because I believe once you read it, you'll want to read even more. This is going to be a fun campaign. I've got a lot of cool extras like the Shark of War paper toy, Shark of War stickers, the Shark of War pin, Shark of War comic strips, and of course the Shark of War face mask. Both books are 100% complete, and I've already started work on issue 3. So please get in the Shark Tank and back my project. Thank you for your time.
And he was on a show today, talking to us about Shark of War. Check out, if you didn't watch it, the Indie Vault Breakfast Buzz that was actually recorded this morning. Some exciting stuff. Speaking of exciting stuff, we're going to head over to our site. Now, listen, we're all about helping promote people. And you can see backer pause here was went on yesterday. We had Josh Dahl. We have the Sunday Funnies. We have the Devil's Advocate, which last weekend's topic was It's not a community, you poor fool. It's a cutthroat industry. And of course, the Comics Newswire. We're out here trying to help you guys and promote you guys. We can't promote you if you don't show up. You guys have to make the effort to be part of the programs. We do the elevator pitch, and we don't let people in the last 10 minutes, which means there are 5 minutes. If anyone has anything to say today, jump on in, be part of the program. Otherwise, this goes down as a loss for you guys because we always have enough content to always fill a 1-hour show. As you guys see, it's not hard for us to fill anything because there's that much going on. And as a matter of fact, sometimes we have too much for one day, to be honest with you, but we still try to get it done. We get as much in there as we can. So if you want promotion, just reach out. We have a whole line of shows. We have programming now every day at the 9. Monday is Geek Insiders Geek Speak. Tuesday's Indie Volt Live. Wednesday is Geekgasm, brought to you by Indie Volt Live, Indie Volt YouTube and Indie Volt Radio. Thursday is now going to be Geek Insiders Geek Speak. So today they're actually going to have Ben Lacey, who you just saw on there. Fridays we're going to be doing pilot shows for a while, trying to pick out the future of Indie Volt programming. One of the things that was a success was last Friday's Freaky Friday. What's going to be this Friday? You're going to have to tune in to find out. Saturday, we're going to be talking about On the Devil's Advocate. And actually, I'll move over to my devilish room so we can, I think I have it loaded. I might not. Let me see. And if not, I'll load it while we're talking. So one of the things I wanted to do with the fall was, I think this is the old one. Yeah, you poor fool. One of the things I wanted to do with the fall, we were going to do a different topic, circumstances. And if you heard me talk about it, current circumstances made us feel like we should not talk about that just yet. So we'll do that at a later time. But for now, we're going to be talking about industry standards. So we talked about this on my page over the last 2 years, and we're going to be bringing up some of those topics. And this Saturday, we're going to be talking about, is 16 pages is 16 pages a comic book or a flyer? How important are page counts? We're going to talk about that. We're going to have the doors open. And remember, if you don't show up, then hold your tongue. You don't get an opinion. Show up in the room. Talk to us about what's going on. Talk about what your opinion is. This is all part of the Indie Vault. And of course, I am your Uncanny Comics Devil host. Do you agree or disagree? Have an opinion? Just want to watch? 9 p.m. Eastern Saturday night. And so many excuses, so little time, civil discussion with no space, no spaces, no safe spaces, only honesty, and all opinions are welcome and encouraged to be shared. And, you know, you got to come in, you got to be the right way, you got to be a person who wants to be part of this industry in a positive light, like this quote that we've been talking about a lot lately. In a time of crisis, the wise build bridges while the foolish build barriers. We must find a way to look after one another as if we were one single tribe. And I'm going to continue to read that until I think everyone gets what it means, including this quote from Tupac, who once said, "Just because you lost me as a friend doesn't mean you gained me as an enemy. I'm bigger than that. I still want to see you eat, just not at my table." And that is how I feel about a lot of people that I am no longer friends with. And I don't mean to say that there are a lot of people I'm no longer friends with. I mean, that's how I feel when I'm no longer friendly with the person, because I think that they've done something. And we all have our different peccadillos or reasons that we don't want to be around a person. But I think that's important to remember. Just because you don't get along with a person doesn't mean that makes them inherently a bad person. And it doesn't mean you have to root against them. And I think that you guys need to take a step back and understand that. And if you really are someone who wants to, I mean, there's no way around it. If you're someone who wants to get revenge, here's the best way. Success is the best revenge. Because, I mean, when we're talking about indie, we're talking about independent, next-gen, diverse, endless entertainment. And that's your job. Go out that and do that. Don't be the shade maker. Don't be the person who gets known as the shit starter, the person who's always causing problems. Instead, create something that you're proud of and let everyone know about it. And I am cursing a little bit today, and yes, I'll donate $1 to a campaign. But that's an important thing to say on these programs, is that if you are a shit stirrer, you're problematic. So I don't mind donating $1 for that one. And, you know, as someone like me, who I am a creator of fetish monsters and more, I also have a kid's book that I don't talk about enough, and I don't advocate for enough because I'm busy advocating for all you people. So you're all amazing, you creators, and the things that you do, all you amazing creative types, but I don't want to hear as much negativity going forward. Can we just be a lot more supportive? And on these shows, we have to talk about the bad, but we really want to talk about the good. So give us good things to talk about. And one of the things that I like to talk about is my work on Cat Dad and Supermom, which is now in demand. 127 backers have already joined. Why don't you join today? I think I've got the video all set up in a different room. So let me run over to that different room and let you know all about Cat Dad and Supermom. An all-ages tale that teaches morals with farts and shows the power of imagination that will entertain everyone in your family, including the parents reading the book. Thank you for hitting play and allowing us to introduce you to Cat Dad and Supermom, the award-winning Farts with Morals storytelling awesome adventure that people seem to love. And we could keep going that way. We could use words that could try to get you to be excited and convinced to buy it, but I'd rather just be honest with you. I'd rather be humble with you and tell you why I created the story. You see that little boy over my shoulder, right over there, and the other side, the Supermom, and the big elephant that farts? All of that is based on my boy. He's a special needs 5-year-old who I love with all my heart. And he has made me a better man and has taught me what unconditional love is. So if this story is about him, the standard had to be higher. That's why I got one of the best artists in the world in Raheel Mohsin. I got Chuck Pinault, who's done such great work as an editor and as a writer himself, to be part of this. Both of them became co-creators because of how much passion went into this. It was about passion for creating a top-notch story that was meant to entertain your entire family, and I think we did that. The rest, they're all keywords. They're all ways to convince you to do it. Truthfully, this is a story that matters to me, and it had to be one of the best stories that I wanted to share with you. It advocates for people who get bullied, and it advocates for the right things to do when you see someone get bullied. It advocates for being a better human being, but it also represents my son. And because of that standard, because of the fact that my son is in this book, it had to be one of the best things I could create, probably in my entire career. Anytime my son is attached to something, it is that high of a standard for me. So if you're looking for a reason to back this Kickstarter, it's because, well, because I love my son, and I wouldn't put anything out with his name on it that wasn't amazing. Thank you for watching, sharing, and backing Cat Dad and Supermom, and Ella Fart never forgets. And you guys can get your copy today, like I said, right here on Indiegogo. We didn't get to play Flying Sparks. I got Ben's book on my mind. So we want to do that right now. And he was on the show last night, the creator behind the book, John. Great conversation on Geekgasm. Let's check out his video.
What's up, everybody? John Delarose here. I'm the creator of Flying Sparks. And what you're looking at right now is the image for the first issue with our superheroine looking off into the sunset, sunrise, and just reflecting on her heroism. I'm very excited to bring this book to you, and I can't believe we're already at volume 4 of Flying Sparks. If you're a new reader, fear not. There's wonderful packages in there so that you can catch up, and you can actually do so at a discount, or you can just grab the first volume, see if you like the series, and move on from there. We have a wonderful world that we've developed here. The concept is that Chloe, or Metagirl here, is dating a supervillain under her secret identity and doesn't know it. Conversely, he doesn't know that he's dating a superhero, and so they try to manipulate their lives and run around until eventually they can't hide their secrets any longer. So Flying Sparks is awesome stuff. If you love 80s fair comic books, stuff that Marvel used to make, where heroes used to be heroes, villains used to be villains, this is the book for you. Check it out. The Kickstarter is live now, and we are so excited to have you on board and so excited to have you as readers. Thank you so much, everybody. Back the book today.
Already has 172 backers. Great job, John. And the art looks fantastic in it. We're at the point of our show where we're going to wind down and talk about some house cleaning stuff. If you guys want to be featured on the show, again, you're more than welcome. Everyone is welcome here. We're going to move back to my room real quick so I can show you the card for our actual email. And give me 1 second. I found my devil card. I don't want to. That's for the devil's advocate. Here we go. COMiX Newswire again. COMiX spelled COMIX Newswire at yahoo.com. And you can send us an email, get your stuff featured on the show. And remember that one of the programming, while we do programming at 11 a.m. every weekday with the news, we also have other programming coming. And one of the programs that we're very excited about is the Sunny Funnies. That's on Sunday at 9 a.m.
Now, every Sunday morning, longtime independent comics creator and Indie Volt podcaster Randy Zimmerman hosts a discussion on the lighter side of comics, the more whimsical and fun comics out there on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday on Indie Volt, indievolt.com, the Indie Volt YouTube channel, and the usual Indie Volt sites on Facebook. Listen in, won't you? Participate in the chat. Let's have some fun. See you there.
So if you want to be featured on any one of these amazing shows that we do, that is how you do it. You get it with us, and we'll put you on Sunday Funnies if that's where you feel like you belong, Geekgasm, Indie Volt Live, the Breakfast Buzz, the news, the Backer Pause show if you want to be part of that or have your Kickstarter featured in that. We have nothing but easy things for you. And as Randy would say, wise up. Take the initiative and make your breaking news known to many people. Because remember, we now team up with Indie Volt at comicbookadvocates.com and Geek Insiders. So we want you to be part of it. We want you guys to have your stuff out there. We want people to know what you're working on, including me, who works on Barbara Unleashed, which you guys can get all 4 chapters now for $40 with shipping. Just reach out to me. It's over 120 pages of comic books, great covers. If you want to find out more about fetish and about Barbara's journey through the New York City Fetish Underground, reach out to me and I'll sell it to you for $40 with shipping in the U.S. International rates do apply. And we're just at 11:58 right now. We're going to wind up ending the show. So I appreciate everyone showing up. Remember, the next indie event is coming up in November. Reach out to Meredith for everything that you need to know about that. And I do want to read this. I don't like ass kissers, flag wavers, or team players. I like people who buck the system. Individualists. I often warn people somewhere along the way, someone is going to tell you there is no I in team. Maybe not, but there is an I in independence, individuality, and integrity. That's from the great George Carlin, who I looked up to as a role model. And I want you guys to be empowered. I want you to go out there and I want you to create. And I say this all the time when I do panels. And, it feels like we've lost a lot this year and I haven't been able to connect with you guys on the road. But here's the truth. There's only going to be one you in all of existence. So go out there, be proud of who you are, be proud of what you create, and create new worlds, unafraid, the way you want to create them. And, man, just enjoy the ride. And that's all. That's all I got for you guys today on the news. We'll have tomorrow's Friday wrap-up, and we're going to leave you guys with Let Me Indie.